MCC 32 was one of the most insane tournaments we've ever had, with so many crazy moments and incredible plays that all came down to an ending no one could have predicted. But when all is said and done, which players rise to the top to help their teams to victory? These are the top 10 players of MCC 32. But before we begin, let me know in the comment section below your favourite part of this event as well as your favourite player too. And whilst you're down there, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me on my way to 5k, and we are making one final push towards that monumental milestone, so please consider helping out. Anyway, enough messing around. Let's start with 10th place. Sapnap. Not only is it strange to see Sapnap so low down on the top 10, but somehow he wasn't even the best player on his team, as he endured not the greatest of events in his very long list of superb successes, with a very strange few games that didn't feel like it was his true best. Even so, a 5th in one of his weaker games of Rocket Speed Rush, as well as a 6th in Ace Race, did end up giving him a score of 2,349 points overall, which we all know he'll definitely be disappointed in and be looking to improve come the next event. But before we move on, I do also want to give a shout out to Wally Bear, who finished in 11th in his second event despite his team finishing 9th, which is definitely an achievement worth shouting about. 9th place. Rye Guy Rocky. What a tournament for Rye Guy. As someone that's not often in the event, I definitely wasn't expecting this sudden show of excellence from one of our amazing axolotls this tournament, who all did incredibly well. But focusing on Rye Guy, he did superb in many of the games, including Sands of Time, Grid Runners and more, being the perfect player to aid the god that is purpled on his route to the top, whilst also bringing home a score of 2,558 points for himself. 8th place. Rambo. After way too many third places and one failed attempt at dodgeball, we finally see the one and only Ranboo rightfully take his place on stage alongside the wonderful Red Rabbits of Amesy and Scar, who were all insane on their route to victory this event. But of course it was Ranboo with his brilliant performances in Hole in the Wall, Sands of Time and Sky Battle that landed his team as victors, with a huge score of 2,624 points as he finally becomes, rightfully, a champion. 7th place. CPK. After such a long break away from his keyboard, I did not expect that CPK would pop off this much. Never mind beat Sapnap to first place on the Green Geckos. But in the end, it was the Fox that bounded his way through Hole in the Wall and took the top spot for his team in what was a crazy event for Mr. All Things MCC himself, as he disconnected on 3 separate occasions, which is insane. However, even that couldn't stop him from getting a score of 2,641 points overall. 6th place. H-Bomb 94. The man, the myth, the legend that is H-Bomb perhaps had one of his most chaotic experiences ever, as Tubbo brought the full force of his chaos into this event. But even with the craziness that brings, he still managed to do superbly, with his Sands of Time, Ace Race and Hole in the Wall performances being particularly of note, as he finds himself just missing out on a top 5 spot with a score of 2,682 points. But before we get to the top 5, if you haven't already and you're enjoying the video, please subscribe. It would really mean everything to me if you did. As up next we have 5th place. Pizza Hut. Somehow Pete is yet to find that elusive 5th win, despite what was yet again a very solid tournament, with lots of potential but none of the rewards. as a third place in Ace Race and 2 second places in Rocket Speed Rush and Parkour Warrior were all annoyingly overshadowed by a certain purple foe. But even so, with a score of 2,826 points, Pete can be proud of himself once again this event. 4th place, Ann Fros. Our second winner in the top 10, of course it had to be the almighty Ann Fros, with yet another superb event where he showed every hour he puts into practice is worth it, coming home with the soils after Dodgeball, showing his skill in Ace Race, Hole in the Wall, Sky Battle and Sands of Time to help his team into the final event, which he did brilliantly in, securing the win and himself a score of 3,340 points. Which is actually insane because that score would be good enough for first in a different event, and yet he somehow finds himself in 4th. These S tiers are crazy. 3rd place, FireBreathMan. Look, I think we all have to accept that it's Shane's world and we're all living in it after yet another brilliant event for our one and only FireBreath guy, as he stunned everyone with an amazing performance in Grid Runners before securing brilliant results in Ace Race and Sky Battle that managed to secure him a spot on the podium with a score of 3,428 points. But we all know he'll be itching for another victory very soon. 2nd place, Purpled. Talking about itching for another victory, how the hell has Purple made it into 3 dodgebolts in a row and not won a single one? Never mind, scratch that. How has Purple got a team that I myself predicted to come 9th into dodgeball in the first place? Well, that answer is actually pretty easy, and it's because he's spectacular, winning game after game, getting great performances in Battle Box, Rocket Speed Rush, Grid Runners and more, before sadly once again losing out in the final. However, that wasn't the only thing he lost out on this event, because his score of 3,492 doesn't manage to beat 1st place, Fruitberries. It looked dead certain that this was once again going to be Purple's event, but no one counted on Fruity B as he rose to the top in game after game before giving us one of the most brilliant sky battles we've ever seen, where he got 800 more coins than anyone else. 800. He is crazy. This insane showing will go down in MCC history as one of the greatest games ever, and his round 3 was mind-blowing as he brought it all together to finish on a huge score of 3,590 points overall, taking himself to the next level completely this tournament. But with that being said, we now reach the end of this incredible event and the end of this video. MCC 32 will always hold a special place in my heart forever, so thank you so much for sharing that with me, and I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and finally, as always, peace.